Hello, everybody. Andy Jacob here with the DotCom Magazine Entrepreneur Spotlight Series. I have a great entrepreneur on the show today. Buckle up, everybody. Sit back in your chair wherever you are watching the show because we have a great entrepreneur. You know, we love people that take something, an art, and they make it into a business. They take a passion and they make it into a business. And we've been able to invite Miss Melissia Hill on the show today. She is the founder and CEO of Ooshie Resort Wear. And let me tell you, I mean, what she's doing in the fashion world, people are taking note right now. She's putting out some incredible designs with her resort line. People of all walks of life are reaching out to her. They want to get her fashion on their body. I mean, when it comes to somebody that's scaling at the type of hockey stick growth curve that we love to see with entrepreneurs, Melissia is right at the forefront of it. Her Ooshie Resort Wear is so beautiful. She designs it. She oversees the production. I mean, wait till you see some of the designs. When we're interviewing her, we're going to show it across the screen. I'm so excited to have Miss Hill on the show. Melissia, welcome to the .com Magazine Entrepreneur Spotlight Series today.
Hi, Andy. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
It's great to have you. Of course, you're wearing one of your designs. I mean, when we went to the website, the designs just pop off the screen. I showed it to my wife. She said, wow, they're so beautiful and so colorful. And you've been able to take this passion of art and clothing and combine it all together. But let's start by pulling the lens back to 30,000 feet. Tell us about Ooshie Resort Wear, and then we're going to get into it.
Yeah, so Ooshie is a resort wear for women. And we're known for our bold colors and original textiles, which are all designed by me. I'm actually wearing one right now. Either start by just hand painting it or hand drawing it, and then we turn into a digital print. And we are truly sustainable and eco-responsible in our production and how we get our garments to our clients. Everything is made to order. There's zero waste. I carry no inventory. What you see behind me is my samples for when we shoot our models or when my girlfriends come over to play. So everything is truly sustainable. And that's really important right now as we move into this world that's, we have so much waste and so much pollution. I'm a mom and I want to be able to leave my son with something. So, doing my part, this is really, really important.
Yeah, I love it. You're leaving a legacy. You're leaving the world a better place than how you found it, of course, for the next generations, for your son, as you mentioned. In our prior pre-interview, you spoke about, how important it was for you to make this sustainable and change the world and make it a better place. But you also, of course, love this idea that when you feel good, you look good. So let's talk about that. Where did that come from? That's a great philosophy.
So, when I started Ooshie, I was just very passionate because I felt like I had a story to tell when it came to being a woman, when it came to femininity. And, I always hold on to that feeling as when you're walking down the street on a beautiful day and anything seems possible. You can turn the corner and meet the love of your life. You can go, walk down the street and find $100 bill. You can run into an old friend, like anything is possible. You can get that call you've been waiting for. And so we all know that with that energy, that comes from a place of feeling good inside, and our bodies and our canvas, this is just something like Ooshie is just something that we put on it to enhance that. So I just really wanted women to feel alive and feel like anything is possible. And that, subconsciously happens with color, color that evokes something in you. And so that's what I wanted to give them.
I love it. Of course, you just said anything is possible. Behind me, it says nothing is impossible. It sort of says the same thing. You have this great attitude. And, that's what you've become known for. And the attitude comes out in your clothing. And that's why everybody's trying to get the clothing off the rack. And so many people are saying, hey, how do I get Ooshie Resort Wear? It's just the most beautiful resort wear that's come out in a long time. You have this great saying, until further notice, celebrate everything. I mean, it's such a great attitude. How did you come up with that? That's fantastic.
Just basically just throughout my day and how I live my life. And those words to me are like my customer's motto. This is the word, this is what she lives by. This is how she decides who she hangs out with and what job she takes, what vacation she takes. It's just that thing that until further notice, let's just keep celebrating. Let's just keep living life to the fullest. Let's just take everything on and be positive about it and be beautiful about it and always stay in our grace, and so that's kind of where that came from.
I love it, Melissia. Of course, your Ooshie resort wear is really known for the beautiful hand-drawn print designs and the sustainability as well. Let's get into it because there's a lot of people that are fascinated about the clothing business. How does it get started? Do you have like a vision in your mind? Do you wake up in the middle of the night and you draw something and then all of a sudden, you start drawing sort of the prints, and then how does it get from your head into becoming a beautiful piece of clothing that people wear?
Yeah. So just to go back a couple steps. So I was very fortunate to partner with Resonance companies who are my partners, and they make all of this possible for me. So I'm able to do everything made to order. Our sustainable policies are that, everything is direct to consumer. So from the factory, it goes straight to my customer. And then, we do everything digitally printed and produced, which saves like 30% less water and ink. And we use all natural fibers. So everything is 95% biodegradable. But to answer your question about how does this whole process work? So, I'm always like dancing around and doing my thing. And, and I feel like, oh, wait, what would I want to wear? Or how would I want to feel? And so the process kind of comes from that. Or, I love to look at movies, and it's always a feeling of a color combination that I may see in my head, or like, oh, wouldn't that be great? But usually when my brain really gets to going is when my son is in the bed, sleep. I have a nice glass of wine. I usually have like some Nancy Wilson playing, and I just kind of let everything just go. And then once I get everything going, Resonance, we step in, they turn everything into a digital print for me, and then everything is printed. Now, all the garments, the fabric, everything is always white. Everything is white, and then we lay all this beautiful color. And their technology is really, really, really high end, because as you can see, the vibrancy in this dress, you would never know that it was digitally done.
Wow, that's so remarkable. Digitally done on a white dress. It's remarkable what technology can do. And of course, when people think about resort wear, they think about maybe taking a trip or taking a vacation. But with your beautiful designs, people are saying, hey, I don't have to go on a trip to wear, the Ooshie resort wear. I want to wear it around the house or wear it out to, dinner or lunch, right?
Absolutely. And I'm always a fan of a woman feeling like a queen in her house. I don't believe in sweats. Sorry, ladies. I don't believe in it. I say throw on a caftan, throw on a nice little slip dress, because it makes you feel different, And so, so that's just like my whole philosophy around it. I just love for women just to feel comfortable and just feel elegant and beautiful. So I'm not sure if I answered your question because my mind kind of went somewhere else, but bring me back if I didn't.
Yeah, no, you did. Everybody's wearing it not only on vacation, but they wear it in their house just to, walk around and feel great, or they go out to the store or out to dinner, whatever they do. It doesn't have to be a vacation. And of course, your designs are made for that. Now, let's talk a little bit about this, Melissia, because people can go to your website. You've got a great Instagram. You've got some great social going. What's up with the stores? How hard is it for a designer to get their designs into the stores? Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so that's a really good question. So as of now, because this industry is so saturated, there's new brands popping up every day. And just to say sustainability, there's a lot of definitions for that, right? So I have decided for Ooshie, my thing to do was to just stay online first. So right now we're just online. We haven't been in any stores, like, not Anthropologie yet, no Free People yet, but they're coming. So we're just only online right now. And we're just kind of, making our space, building our way, and they're all coming in. So
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Yeah, Melissia, that makes sense. And for the younger entrepreneurs watching the show, rewind what Melissia just said, because that's real important to know where you belong, where your run to daylight is. The way in which you get to market is very important. And a lot of companies, they start online, they stay online for a long, long time because that's where they belong. That's where it sort of resonates for their clients. And ultimately, should, Melissia want to expand out, that's going to be available to her. But right now it's going so well online. People come, the word's getting out there. Everybody's talking about it. So why even take it into the stores right now in Melissia's entrepreneurial journey? So that's great advice. Now, let's talk a little bit about what it's like when you're walking down the street and you see somebody wearing your fashion, or, you go to a website and some celebrity's wearing it, or somebody, is out and about and they get a picture taken with one of the Ooshie designs. What's that make you feel like?
Well, it's always an affirmation just to keep going, because this is not easy for all the entrepreneurs coming up. It's definitely a labor of love. This is no easy task. And if it was, everyone would be doing it. So that's always just a confirmation for me to keep going, keep doing it. People are seeing it. People are loving it. And, sometimes when I wear the clothes and we're walking down the street, my son say, "Mom, you got 5 likes," He said, "and 2 silent ones," Because sometimes women are very verbal and they're like, "Oh my God, I love your dress." And I'm like, "Thank you." Or sometimes, people just kind of stare. So it's all good. It's just all such a great feeling to know that, I'm putting my stamp in the fashion industry. I'm telling my story and people are receiving it.
Yeah, I love it. You're kind of like what I would call a walking billboard. I mean, you go out and people start talking to you. And then, of course, you say, "Oh, this is my design." And immediately they go online. Maybe they take a picture of you and them together in a selfie, or you, and they put it up online. And sort of the rest is history. It's going very, very well. When we think about it, I mean, you're out of, Brooklyn, New York, the hotbed of fashion in the New York area. So let's talk about that. Are there a lot of people that you connect with that are also in fashion? And what's that community look like in the New York area?
Yeah, so I'm in Brooklyn. There is a lot of creative hubs here. The area Industria has a lot of creative, networking and shops and things like that. But fortunately, because of our recent, COVID and all that, a lot of communities I've just built online. There's a lot of really good ones that I've connected with, and I'm always reaching out to other women when I see them doing things and supporting them and giving them any advice that I may have to offer, because, when one person wins, we all win. So it's just good to help everyone, because it just comes back, you know what I mean? And so that's just been my philosophy, and it's been great. It's been really, really good to meet other women doing the same thing. Well, not the exact same thing, but building their dream in their way.
I love it. It's such a great community. Everybody's trying to help each other out. When someone comes on the website and they see a fashion, a piece of fashion, a dress or another piece of resort wear that they love, are there limited editions? In other words, do you only allow a certain amount of them to go out, or how does all that work with regard to the supply chain?
Yeah. So because I don't hold inventory and everything's made to order, I just kind of keep it around as long as possible. I have one caftan that I made when we launched. It's a mango and mauve one, colored, 2 different color shades. And everyone loves this. Now, it's been on the website for about a year now. I think I'm going to keep her there for a while because people really, really like her. And I was like, okay, she can stay. Some things I'll probably do a last call, and if it's not going as well, then I'll take it off. But everything seems to be doing really, really well. So right now we just have everything up and more. I'm really, really excited for spring. We have some great color palettes coming, and it's going to be really fun. Yeah,
I love it. And for the entrepreneurs watching the show, you may have missed it, but there's another lesson from Melissia right there. She talked about her fashion as her. In other words, she's so connected to what she's selling. She's so connected to the offering that she actually calls the dress her, which I love so much because it almost makes it become human. And of course, when you sell one of your pieces, there's a piece of you that goes out with every piece of fashion. And You must know that when people wear your fashion, they feel great, they look great, and it makes them sort of have a different outlook. When you wake up in the morning and you know so many people are wearing your fashions, what does that feel like? What kind of pep in your step do you get from knowing that you're helping so many people have this great attitude with all your vibrant colors and your beautiful designs?
Yeah, well, it's definitely a responsibility. I can't stop, and I remember last year, a woman reached out to me and she was buying one of my caftans for her friend's recovery gown she had surgery. And I was so touched by that, to be a part of something like that in someone's life. That's why I have one of my hashtags as live in Ooshie, because that's what people do. That was so great. I was like, wow, she wants to use one of my caftans as a recovery gown. They would definitely heal fast because they would feel so good, So I just thought and that's really special and very touching. So it's definitely a responsibility, and it's something that I don't stop. I get up, start my day, and that's just as simply as being positive and happy in my day that I can give to other people as well.
I love it. A recovery gown, it just got me thinking. All hospitals and all outpatient clinics, they should have very vibrant and fun and remarkable gowns because it makes you feel so good.
Absolutely. Why not? Right? Instead of that little, isn't it white with like some, I don't know, horrible.
Yeah, maybe Ooshie's going into the recovery gown business. And, I love it so much. It makes all the sense in the world. If it's not much more money, and they give someone a drab gray or blue or green recovery gown, give them an Ooshie, resort wear gown. It makes all the sense in the world. Let's talk about sort of the team. I know you're running a very nimble opportunity right now, Melissia, but where does it go from here? How do you start expanding sort of your presence throughout the world? And do you deliver worldwide?
We do deliver worldwide. Right now, it's just me. I'm a one-woman show. I do everything. I mean, from the logo, that is my handwriting. I wrote it 1,000 times until I found the perfect letter combination that just flowed perfectly. So everything is me right now. I have Resonance as a partner, which is really good. So I don't have to worry about my manufacturing. But, I'm taking it as it comes. I'm starting to scale up a little bit, looking for a marketing team, looking for someone to do the social media so that I can just concentrate on design. But yeah, so that's just where we are right now.
I love it. You're going through such a wonderful entrepreneurial journey. There's so much to learn. I'm so happy. I mentioned to you in the pre-interview, I'm so happy I'm getting you on now, because in another 6 months or a year or two, there's no way I'm going to be able to book you back on. You're going to be so busy traveling all over the world and going to Fashion Week in Paris and everything else. When we think about it, when we think about entrepreneurship, what's been the biggest challenge in your entrepreneurial journey with putting Ooshie resort wear out into the hands of so many people that are absolutely loving it right now?
Yeah, so that's a great question. For me, what I've learned that was holding me back in the beginning is that I was trying to do it like everyone else, and doubting myself because I don't have, an MBA, I don't have a degree in business. But the beauty about being an entrepreneur is that you get a chance to step outside the box and you create your own path and you do it your way, because that is what's going to separate you apart. That's what's going to get you to the next point. And so that's what I did. I mean, when I first started this, I Googled my way through the process. I was looking at this, looking at that at night. I still read all night. Like when my son goes to bed, if I'm not creating, I'm reading this, trying to understand that. So that has been, I think, my greatest gift in this is I didn't start off with a business plan. Because had I started off a business plan, I probably would have never started. It was too much. I'm like, I have to do all this. So for people, it's different. Everyone is different. For me, I just needed to dive in. I just dove in and got it going. Then I started building, and then I started understanding these things and putting the pieces together. Some people, they may need to start with a business plan and go from there. So entrepreneurship is about doing it your way that works for you.
Yeah, that's such great advice. So many people have an idea. They have a great idea by breakfast, but by lunch, 99.9% of them forgot about the idea. And they don't know how to start, and sometimes the best way to start is to not think it all through, not have a giant 30 or 40 page business plan. You just start. You just do one thing and then it rolls, right?
You just get it going. Same with working out. Just start. You start working out, you got one day under your belt, you do something else. The same with entrepreneurship. If you just start with your logo, if that's what's driving you right now, and that cements it, that makes it real. When I started, I did a Facebook page, a Facebook business page. And I was like, oh my God, I did it. So I have to follow through now, and it just kind of gradually just caught on. I did something else. And here we are 2 years later.
I love it. You're very inspirational. Let's
you.
talk about this attitude, because something that comes through not only with you on screen, but on our telephone call that we had prior. And of course, your remarkable designs with the vibrant energy that you promote. Where did this attitude come from? Was this something that you learned as a young person? Was this something that someone mentored into you? Was it something that you learned from various people along the process? Why do you have such a great attitude? Was it something that started early or something that sort of started late in your world?
Well, just to give you some backstory, I was a very shy girl growing up, especially like in high school. I was very thin. And then I came into my person, my body. And I think just over the years of traveling and friendships and meeting new people, I've really understood and valued being grateful and what that means. I love my life. I love my family, my friends, my son. So all these things have just given me the understanding of how powerful it is to be grateful for your life. And that's basically where it comes from.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, you're moving forward with gratitude every day and every minute. It's fantastic. Before I let you go, I know you're putting these orders together. I'm hoping maybe during this interview, you had a little flash of some design. I'm hoping maybe you can say to me, Jake, this new design I thought about maybe after the interview. That would be so much fun. But let's talk about entrepreneurship a little bit more, because we have other younger entrepreneurs watching the show. Sometimes they hit a roadblock. Sometimes they hit a little pothole in the road. Maybe they freeze in the frame a little bit. Maybe you could share some advice to other entrepreneurs about what it takes as a great entrepreneur through the journey to get through a tough time. How do we get through those roadblocks? What do we do to get past a brick wall, coming out the other side, being very happy that we went through that process?
Yeah, you may not like my answer on this, but what I say is just push away for a minute. Go do something fun. Go do something that brings you back. Because sometimes entrepreneurship can be very lonely because it's just you, right? And maybe you may have some people that you can brush ideas with, but in the beginning, it's just you. So I remember, if I can share this story, I remember once I was really frustrated with a lot that was going on. And it's just me feeling overwhelmed. And I was like, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. I pushed myself away from the desk. I put on a caftan and I said, where is she today? I'm like, she's in Zara. And I went into Zara and I just started walking around. And I got 3 women that came up to me and they're like, oh my God, is this from Zara? I was like, oh no. I was like, this is Ooshie. I was like, I made this. And she's like, what? Wait, let me see. And she grabs her phone and she's like, oh my God, I'm going to follow you. That right there reset everything for me that day. I came back to my desk and I was clear and I was able to carry on. But I would say, for someone who may not think that or do something like that bold, it's just allow yourself that space, that time to not get it right, because it's not about getting it right. You're going to learn what to do next, but allow yourself that. Be patient with yourself, be kind to yourself. And listen, use Google. Don't use Google to look up any medical conditions, but use Google to look up any questions you may have. There is so much information out there. You just got to do the work. You got to take the time. You got to do the work.
I love it. And I've heard a similar answer from some of the most successful entrepreneurs on the planet. So it just makes sense. Sometimes entrepreneurs push through. Other times you got to back away. Yeah. And you don't want to put a round peg into a square hole. So sometimes you just back away, get your space right, and then go back in and go charge them. But what I love about what you're doing, Melissia, is you have this fantastic attitude, and also your designs are amazing. You're building this great company. What I love, though, what's very exciting to hear is you get to walk out the door and build your business. In other words, you get to decide to yourself, I'm going to go take a stroll, or I'm going to go into a department store and I'm going to wear my Ooshie. And I know just by walking out the door, I'm going to build my business and get people to follow me and sell more product. It's really awesome. Listen, this has been a great interview. I'm going to bring you back on the show, maybe when the spring collection comes out, or, next fall again, when you have some more designs. Don't forget that one design that you're going to get in your brain that came because of DotCom magazine. Let us know. We're going to put it up on DotCom magazine as well. This has been a great interview, Melissia. Thank you so much for coming on the DotCom magazine Entrepreneur Spotlight Series. What you're doing at Ooshie Resort Wear, not only with the designs, but the sustainability is remarkable. I mean, you take these white, products and you turn them into a colorful product, and it's all done sort of virtually through your website. It's a remarkable story, a remarkable journey. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.